Here is a PSA for all of you married women who are thinking of divorcing your good husband, the perfect husband, but you don't know what's wrong with him. Let me put a warning out there. There are plenty of other women waiting for him to be released from your clutch. Okay. So before you divorce that so-called perfect man, you said so yourself. There are other women waiting for the chances to slide into his DM. And then when that happens, 2-3 months down the road or even a year, don't get upset. Okay, don't come online and say, oh, he's such a narcissistic guy who move on to his new supply, infatuation supply. Shut the fuck up, okay? A lot of you are not qualified to diagnose narcissistic behavior. A lot of you women over here are narcissistic too. So don't get Pikachu face when the man is immediately pick up from the streets, you know? You guys say, oh yeah, from the street. And then you guys got so jealous. I've seen this video, this lady. Oh, he is now, move on with the new wife. You know, yeah. And he's narcissistic. Bitch, please. You just upset that he move on before your ass. Had you move on before him, or you would be showing off the, oh, look at me. Yeah. Keep playing. A lot of you Western women play too much. I don't know who I am at 32. Bitch, if you can't figure your shit out at 32, you need Jesus. I don't know who I am at 32. Bitch, if you can't figure your shit out at 32, you need Jesus.
Ladies, let me tell you something. The wrong thing to do is after a man asks you for your phone number and you tell him you got a man and he say, well, can we be friends? Can I have your social media? That is someone about to prey on you when your relationship fucked up or when you just need that moment to someone to vent to. These men who want you when you have a man is something you don't even want to drop your man for them. Because why he's so interested in a woman who has a man and you already told him this? He is not a loyal motherfucker. He's a cheater. He's a liar. He's all these motherfucking things. He's not faithful. So what makes you think he gonna be available for you in your time? This motherfucker probably got bitches lined the fuck up that he already hit, but they friends now because he don't want to be faithful, loyal to one. And he has a lying ass past. Like he has bitches that he's playing right now. He don't trust the bitch. Okay? This is a man who's coming in not trusting bitches. I'm over here, gang. Shit. All right, but that's it.
Y'all, they tricked us. Yep, they tricked us. They had black women thinking that we need to keep up with men, that we gotta be bosses and be independent women. They tricked us. I just came from working every day. My own business. I opened and I closed there. I had no time for my family. I had no time for my husband. I had no time because I was tired. I had no time for my kids. I had other people getting them off the bus and not knowing what's going on with my older son. They tricked us, y'all. Other groups of women, not all of them, in different areas, they're at home with their kids. All of that independent, you know that independent song by Lil Boosie? You know that single lady song by Beyonce? They tricked us, y'all. They tricked us. They tricked us. Beyonce isn't single anyway. And she got, I don't even know how many kids. But they tricked us, y'all. That's why black women are right now the #1 group getting diagnosed with autoimmune disorders, cancers. Many of these autoimmune disorders come from stress. When we try to live in our masculine. Now, I know some of us, we have to work. And, you know, we got to do what we got to do. But for those of us that have a choice, what are we trying to prove to people by showing that we're a boss or we can do this and that? Because we can't. Something is always going to be not all the way fulfilled. Be it your kids, if you have to work full time. But they tricked us. They tricked us into living in our masculine when we should be living in our feminine. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Well, I am a little bit, but Yeah, it's by plan, y'all. And look how we're getting diagnosed with different diseases and disorders. Even me, I personally was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis while I was in a really stressful situation of going to school. So I'm not saying don't, achieve certain things that you want to achieve or go to school or things like that. I'm saying take it slowly and only handle as much as you can. Don't throw too much on your platter, on your plate. You don't have to do that. But now that I stay at home, I'm basically a stay-at-home mom. I love getting my daughter off the bus. I love waking up to my baby and not having to take my baby to daycare or look for somebody to have to watch him. Or I love being able to take care of my body. I'm out walking and working out in the morning when I wouldn't have been able to do this before. But y'all, other groups of women, this is what they're doing. You don't have to prove yourself. We don't have to be bosses. We don't have to be independent women. We don't have to be. And that doesn't make us lazy or anything like that. We're tending to other obligations. But yeah, they tricked us, y'all.
This idea that women are nurturing, well, what's your evidence for it? Other than we give birth, and anyone can do, like a dog can do that, a cat. So I don't think that makes us nurturing. I just don't see
biological makeup that women are nurturing, and I'm not saying all women are nurturing. Of course, there are bad women out there, and there are also fathers who abuse their children. So we're not going to only say that only women.
I will say no, but it is a fact that the majority of abuse is done by women. Like, imagine
say it all. We never say it all.
I actually didn't. I didn't, but I said the majority.
You can run it back.
I said the majority. Okay, are you trying to nitpick here? Or are you trying to understand what I'm saying? One out of 3 women have killed a kid, and the majority of abuse is done by women. You're the one that's misrepresenting that by saying I'm lying, because that's true. The majority.
You said men never abuse
the majority. They rarely. Okay, so when it comes to the abortion, I think it's actually very realistic to not get pregnant. And in fact, men have made it so easy to not get pregnant. Women said, I want to have casual sex. So the men said, here you go. Here's condoms. And then the women said, no, I want to let him hit it raw. And they said, fine, do that. Here's plan B. They still couldn't do it. They're like, just take this pill. The next day, can you take it? And they're like, no, we can't do that. And so then they said, all right, here's an IUD, 99% effective. You shove it up there and then you're done. You don't have to worry about this. Can you do that? The women said no. They said, here's a pill. Can you take this pill daily? Can you do it? And the ladies are like, no, it's too hard. They said, okay, we've done all this research. Track your cycle. You can only get pregnant a few days of the month. And the women said, no, we can't do that either. They're like, here's an ovulation stick. You can even track when you're ovulating. Here, you can track it on your phone. Can you do that? And the women said, no, that's too hard. Here's the stick for your arm. You can shove this in your arm. Can you do that and not get pregnant? And the women still said no. They said, okay, here's an abortion pill where you can just take the pill in the first month. Is that enough? Is that enough for you guys? And they said, no, that's still too hard. It's tough being a woman because my gender just lets me down a lot. You know what I mean? If we were so nurturing, we wouldn't raise such terrible kids. My sister works at a daycare and she says she sees a stark difference between the kids with 2 parents and 1, or the kids with a dad in their life and that not. She says they're more rambunctious. They don't listen. They have no discipline, and men don't abuse their children en masse. There are exceptions. Yeah. But overwhelmingly, the majority of the time, women are the ones abusing children. It's over 50% of abuse is done by women. If it's done by a man, it's usually a man the woman brought into the kid's life. So, that's just a fact.